working on our filming. This is going to be here in a little bit. So, but we want to go live, so you can kind of see the process, and we're just trying to build our following. And so here we go. Welcome.
All right.
Are we done with this content? We need to switch it to the other content.
Yeah, so we did the abolish the IRS fact video.
Okay, so I need the other data in the prompter.
Okay.
In the prompter. This one has been a lot of work. This next one.
You can tell them to bring in any questions while we're...
Yeah, absolutely. Bring in any questions. I don't have any viewers. But if you do jump on, bring in any questions, and I'll happily answer them.
So I started shooting in 60 frames instead of 30?
I don't know how to, okay, so do I need to redo it?
No, nothing to be redone, but it's overheated, which is interesting.
Oh.
60 frames per second, it's a lot more work on the camera.
Apparently.
So it's cooling down, you can hear it. And you'll see it.
All right, well, for all of you watching, if you got a question, put it on there and I'll try to answer it.
So yeah, the camera is...
You want to somebody want to change the teleprompter while we're on?
Yeah, can
Yeah,
you
we
do
can.
that, Jackson?
What was that?
Change out the teleprompter?
Yeah.
Change the teleprompter. So this one, we've been working on this guy for several weeks. This came about, this next video segment. It came about, we were, believe it or not, I did this research whenever I was newly married. And the question was like, how much do we pay in hidden taxes? So I wanted to know, based on every single dollar that I earned, how much tax I paid. And so I did the research 25-ish years ago. And it was interesting. It was fascinating. There was a lot of things that I learned. And we now, so my son Jackson has done another, he did all the research, and he's spent about 2-3 weeks on it. And in doing that research, we've come up with how much you pay in hidden taxes. And it's shocking. I'm telling you, you're going to be like, oh my gosh, it is shocking. So if you've got a tax question, while we're kind of queuing things up here, we're about to film. If you got a tax question, if you'll comment it, or you any comments, just put them out there. Love to hear from you. But yeah, this segment we're about to record, hidden taxes that you pay, and it is, wow, crazy. Let's see. Pretty wild.
Okay, I'm ready, Jackson, when you are.
Okay, I think I've got it. Does that look right?
Yeah. Oh no.
Oh shoot.
It's not working again?
I just hit the button and it it's doing what it did
going
before.
nuts. We have to.
Where it's just scrolling all the way up.
Auto scroll?
Yeah. Let me see if I can get it to go.
Technical problems.
Hold on. Hang on. See if it'll work.
Oh, is it working?
Oh, you just pasted it under the other one.
I did. Is that okay?
No, just select all and replace it. So
Okay, replace it.
yeah, but
First, is it working?
let me see. Hold on.
It's not working.
It's not. It's doing the same thing.
Oh,
Technical difficulties. Hang in there. For those of you that have hopped on, we're about to get into the segment. It's great. We had a little technical difficulty here. We're going to reset. Give us just a minute.
We're professionals.
We're about to go. It's going to be good.
All right, try it now.
Do you want me to just delete it all and?
Yeah, you
But
can
seriously,
click-
if you
click
got a
block
question
by
about
block.
taxes, like while we're sitting here,
Yeah.
throw it in the comments, man. Definitely good to see you guys on there. Any tax question, thoughts, comments, concerns, anything you want to talk about or want me to comment on. If you love taxes, if you hate taxes, definitely.
This is actually perfect to give your audience time. to-
Here, do you want to do this?
Yeah.
There's probably a way faster way.
Yeah, you want to just jump over here?
Yeah.
I think somebody tapped that teleprompter. We're about to get going. We're close.
Try it for me now.
Okay.
It's still doing it? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
You gotta love technology. It's awesome. You know, we spend all this time and money and then nothing works.
Yeah. How it goes.
Yeah. It's supposed to be easy, right? Like you know, I don't know how many of you guys are on there doing
Try it for me. Nope. Okay.
this kind of stuff. Maybe you're making your own videos or that kind of thing, and you go find some great gear and it works when it works, and then it just doesn't, and it's okay. We're just gonna start over with the resetting of the computer. We recorded a segment earlier that was super great. You want to tune in and watch it. We just wrapped it up. And we were about to record the hidden taxes you pay. And I will just say, these are the taxes that nobody talks about this stuff. I mean, it's not well known.
Yeah.
These are the hidden ones, the ones nobody talks about.
Okay. Audio good?
Yeah.
Testing 1, 2. Sorry about that, guys. Here we go. We're about to get into it. Lot of research in this one. And we're just going to go with kind of some averages. So we were looking at the average American earning about $60,000 per year. And we're going to look at what their total tax bill is. And we're about to get into it here.
Just a minute longer here. Did you already delete the other stuff or not yet?
I deleted some of it. It's like in the middle of it, and I know how to like select it all on this
Got it.
software.
With a little slight technical difficulty. I'm glad that you've stopped by
Okay.
to check this out. 'Cause we gotta have a new channel here, and so we're just trying to build that following, so you guys can see we're just real people. Just a real guy. Got a real team here, and they're putting things in the teleprompter. I'm gonna start saying them out loud. It might or might not be appropriate, so just saying.
Okay, we are firing up here.
Okay, I think we're rolling.
We are rolling.
Awesome. Here we
Jeff, I'm
go.
gonna keep this screen back here. So
Okay.
check focus if you want to come back here with me.
Here we go. If you make $60,000 per year, your total tax bill, including hidden taxes, is. I'm Josh. Welcome to the Tax Pro Show. I'm an EA with over 20 years experience in taxation, and I am glad that you're here. If you knew how much you were paying in taxes, hidden taxes, believe it or not, you might lose your mind. So please keep in mind that we may have missed some hidden taxes that you pay in this, but we have done our best. We've done a ton of research, and we have really dialed this in to get you a pretty good idea of what you are making and paying in taxes. Average income in America is around $60,000. So here you go. Imagine earning the same salary in 2 different states, yet taking home thousands of dollars more in one state versus another state. You're doing all the same work, earning the same pay, but your residence is in two different states in this example. And when that happens, your tax burden is completely different. So we're going to get into how deeply federal, state, and hidden tax shape our financial lives. What does your employee package pay, and what does it actually cost you in federal taxes? Once we add up all of your federal income tax, Social Security, Medicare, federal unemployment tax, federal excise tax, we estimate that on a $60,000 income, you're paying somewhere between $19,000 to $20,000 in taxes on that alone. When we did this, we looked at, okay, so what does the federal excise tax include? Gas, airline tickets, alcohol, tobacco, vaping, firearms, ammunition, health insurance. What about the excise tax on tanning beds? Yeah, it's all over the place. So now let's talk about what state taxes cost. We covered the federal, let's look at the state. Depending on what state you live in will determine how much you'll pay in state tax. We'll take, on average, for this example, so we're just going to look at the averages, and on average, with $60,000 of income, you're going to pay somewhere between $8,000 to $9,000 in state taxes. Wow. On top of the federal, we're paying some serious dollars. So what do we include in those state taxes to get to that number? We looked at your state income tax, we looked at your sales and excise tax, or sin tax. We looked at property taxes, vehicle and registration, utilities, taxes on that, and telecom taxes. There were some other ones that we talked about we didn't even include, but we got the majority of them. We're going to also, on the video, we're going to roll the list of all of the taxes included in this category, and they are expansive. So what about other hidden taxes? Yes, as if you hadn't paid enough taxes, so far, we've taken your $60,000 down to $32,000 with just covering federal and state income tax. So let's talk about those other taxes. I know you're asking, can there even be more taxes? And the answer, yes, there is. The sad part, and the thing I want you to think about, is a lot of these taxes aren't based on income. They're just based on behavior. Some of them you have zero control over. And some of them, some would argue you do have some control over. Like inflation tax, when the government prints more money. How about tariffs and import duties? Regulatory compliance taxes, mandated insurance costs, government monopoly pricing, where you have to pay to register your vehicle, you have to pay because you have to use this thing in the government. Once we add and account for all of this type of tax, that adds an additional of approximately $5,000 to your total tax bill. So on $60,000, you would pay up to $33,000 in tax per year. Yikes. So by percentage, you'll on average pay around 55% of your income, making $60,000 a year in the US, once we include all of the hidden taxes. So what about what we did include, right? And we didn't include, and we're going to roll through all of these taxes that we included at the end of the video. But I also want you to pay attention to one more thing. What about the lowest and the highest states? So let's talk about the 5 highest tax states. And in these, we're looking at a few different things. This is the combined tax of property tax, income tax, and sales tax. Number 1, if you guess Hawaii, you got it right. They're coming in at almost 14%, 13.92% on average. New York, 13.56%, and just under them, Vermont, 11.53%. And I know this one will come as a shock. Of course, it's California, 11%, and then you have Maine at 10.64%. So what's the flip of that? The lowest 5 combined states. Let's go with number 46, 6.46, South Dakota. Next at 47, Tennessee, 6.38%. New Hampshire, 5.93. Of course, Wyoming at 5.79. And if you guess the last state begins with an A, you might have gotten it right. 4.93, Alaska. It's the cheapest state to live in as far as taxes go. Of course, you might be paying a lot more with imports and getting supplies, but it is the lowest amount. Well, hey, thanks for stopping by and learning about the hidden taxes that you pay. I'm glad that you took the time to join us. I'm Josh with Tax.pro. Don't forget to like and subscribe, because every time you subscribe or like our channel, somebody else is furthering the message of taxation and how it impacts your life. So don't forget to like and subscribe to further that message, because you're making a difference in somebody else's life. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you on the next one.
Awesome.
All right, we have comments. Oh, it's just Josh saying that he's working with me. That's awesome. I like working with you too, bro. All right, what else?
That was awesome. So I was slightly distracted by tech items, so let me make sure we covered it all. So on all the hidden taxes, do we want to show like data tables throughout this video?
That's what I don't know. We have a lot of data, and then we also could roll like the list of all. I didn't even get into the lists of all of these taxes. It's astronomically insane.
Do you want to maybe even just for us, in case we do want to do it, maybe just give us little parts that we could chop up and you could say, hey, take a look at these data graphs.
Yeah, I kind of did a little bit of that.
Okay.
But let's do some more.
Okay.
All right, so included in this, let me just go back here. All right, so this graph is going to show all of the breakdown of the federal taxes by percentage. On this one, we've got all the state taxes. It's going to have your percentage and your rates based on that $60,000, so the dollar amount and then the percentage rate. Here we've got a list of what we included in all those averages. So state income, local, city and state tax, state sales tax, local sales tax, corporate business taxes that are passed through via prices, electronic transaction taxes, use tax, gasoline tax, state and local, diesel fuel tax, state and local. One point I want to point on diesel, you've also got farmers' diesel tax, which is different than what you pay at the pump, because the farmers also can have a diesel tax that they have to submit. You also have over the highway long haul taxes that you have to pay that gets passed on. Alcohol excise tax, cigarettes, tobacco, vaping, cannabis, bottled water and soft drink tax, lottery, gambling, carbon and pollution tax, oil and gas production taxes, severance tax, hotel lodging tax, vacancy tax, rental car tax, amusement tax, prepaid food, restaurant tax, tourism or resort tax, water runoff tax, plastic bag tax, mud tax, which is municipal utility district tax and or sewer tax. You've got on property, you've got real estate property tax, commercial property tax, which is passed through via rent. If you're renting, you're still paying tax on residential because it's being passed to you through rent. Personal property tax, that could be vehicles. You've got special assessments, you've got school district levies, you've got the vacancy tax. Under vehicle and transportation, we've got vehicle registration fees, title, license, vehicle excise tax, inspections and admission fees, tolls, parking tax. Under utilities and telecom, electricity tax, natural gas tax, water usage tax, sewer tax, trash and solid waste tax, telecom, phone, mobile tax, cable TV tax, internet access fees and taxes, utility gross receipts tax, which is also passed through. Here's a couple things that were excluded in our numbers. Corporate and business pass-through taxes, and then inheritance and estate tax, because most people don't pay that unless there's just a very large a state. So that's then we've got what we just had to call it something, but additional government taxes is what I would call it. And that's going to be like transfer deeds, recording fees, business license and regulatory, court filing, miscellaneous taxes, excluding fees and permits, all of that kind of stuff. Then those averages include loss of purchasing power, like with inflation tax, higher consumer prices, erosion of wages. So that's one thing we noticed in COVID that was a huge deal. I don't know if you saw that, but all of a sudden inflation was double digit and our wages did not go up. So what happened was our value for time is what went down by dollars. And that was what happened there. There's another one called shrinkage tax, where it's like your dollars, you go buy a bag of chips and there's 10% less chips in that bag. And that's another form of inflation tax. Tariffs and import duties is another one. So higher prices on imported goods, higher prices on domestic goods, cost incentives on electronics, cost increases on electronics, vehicles, appliances, clothing. Regulatory compliance costs is like environmental compliance costs, labor and workplace, regulation cost, financial and insurance regulation costs, licensing, reporting, paperwork costs are all passed through. Even if you're working with something that you wouldn't even think, they're still passing that on to you. So I'll give you an example. The school district, they're required to have an audit. That audit costs thousands of dollars a year for them to have this financial audit. All of that is passed on to you through taxes, via property tax, of course, in the state of Texas. Then you've got mandated insurance costs. This is going to be like required auto insurance minimums, required health insurance coverage and benefits, workers' compensation, pass-throughs, state mandated coverages. You've got the stuff going on with Colorado and California and Washington State, where they're mandating that you have all of these different things in place, like retirement and workers' compensation and a sick pay, and all of these types of things are also basically taxes. And then you have government monopoly pricing, so like your DMV fees, court and filing system fees, regulated utility pricing, which is above market, and then government control fees. We've got all of those broken down into these different charts, and we've give you the dollar amount and then the effective rate, so you can actually see those total combined amounts. And that's when you're really getting into upwards of 55, I believe, percent was some of the highest stuff we saw, which is kind of some of the numbers we were using depending on the state. And of course, the lowest can be down to, 40, 42%, somewhere in there. So,
dude, that's awesome. I will use some of that in the intro too, because you could speed it up. And you get all these different taxes.
And if you want to know, if you want sources on this one, for the love, we've got a gajillion sources.
Yeah.
This one is well documented. So, and like I said earlier, I can almost guarantee you we missed some. Like, there's probably some that we missed.
Give us just for the end of the video, just say, hey, if you need help dealing with your taxes,
yeah,
we are here.
Hey, if you need help with your taxes and your tax situation, we are here. You can comment below this video. You can also reach out to our team via tax.pro, our website, where you can get in touch with one of my solution specialists. They're going to walk you through our process and find out what your needs are and make sure that we're a good fit and we can help you. And I'm looking forward to it. We are here to educate everybody that we can about taxes, the impact of taxes on your life, so it makes a difference, because the knowledge is power. And once you get that knowledge, it levels out the playing field and it makes it more advantageous for you.
Beautiful.
That's great.
Get a clap because I didn't get one on this shot. Perfect.
Awesome. Hey, thanks everybody for stopping by. Appreciate it. We will see you on the next one. Don't drop the phone.